Okay, if you saw my Saturday video that I didn't post one actually, well, I did post one saying that I wasn't posting one, but I did post one. This is going to be done on Monday at noon, even though it's Sunday today. So what I'm going to do is I got new phones because of a new contract, and I don't know what to do with my old phones. They're all Samsungs. They're Samsung DeX. I'm not even actually a big Samsung fan, even though I got another Samsung phone. And I really wanted the LG X ThinQ with the dual screen, but at the end of the day, I already have enough audio problems with my videos. Wanted a decent camera, and I just decided to go with that because I've actually been using DeX more and more and more, which then got me thinking that that's what I can use my old phone for. And here is my Note 8, and I have, if you saw in my video for my Switch, the TARDIS video, my dock for it. And what I have in it is I have a 2.4 hertz USB dongle. I got my USB-C in here, which you do have to use a quick charge or one of the ones that come with a Samsung because it does need that power to run the whole DeX system. And then the HDMI, which is going into the TV right here. The keyboard I have here and the mouse actually are hooked up to it too, but that doesn't need to be hooked up to it. And I also have an Xbox controller hooked to it. You can do a PlayStation 4 controller if you have Android 10, and I know there's ways to get around stuff, but I'm just doing basic, no rooting, no extra weird stuff. So this one is not Android 10, so it does not have a PlayStation 4 controller to it. I plan on doing the same setup, except more portable, because my Note 10 is my now current phone, so it wouldn't be permanently on a computer or a TV. But the whole premise behind this is I like the NVIDIA Shield. This isn't a 100% replacement for it, but this gives me some options that I wouldn't normally have. I also wouldn't have the phone sitting right here on the keyboard. I would actually probably have it with the camera somewhere behind the TV because you can do Google Hangouts and things like that. There are things that are kind of weird and don't work with it though. So what I have with it here, and you don't need this, you can Bluetooth any mouse to it. As you can see on the screen, I'll do a rubber band box here so you can see that it's actually working. I can right click to do different wallpapers, things like that. But this is just my Bluetooth mouse, which I did in my backpack video, and that's where I'm not going to hit the button because that's how I screwed it up last time while making the video. But this is just a cheap remote I got under $10. I'll put a link to it in the description. But in fact, this is the box it came in. In the envelope it came in was so small that I thought I actually got the wrong item till I got it. But it is really a cheap controller. It's to the point where I haven't even looked to see if maybe I can function the TV at all, because it does say there is infrared on it, but I'm just using it for the Android. So like here's a volume down, volume up, got mute on it, and then there's a home key on it, so if I'm in something and go back to the home. TV doesn't do anything on it. Might look into seeing if I can get that to launch straight to one of the programs I'll be showing. But what this is I also plan on, right now I have a satellite service. I'm planning on getting rid of that and everything and just go, I have an antenna on my house and going straight over to the antenna. So this is going to show a bunch of things. So as you can see, I can, I'm on a mouse setting, which I'll show that later. Here we go. So I can move around. And really the biggest thing is for watching television and stuff. So I can go here to my entertainment folder, which I made. It's just a folder. And I can go in here and I have what's an HDHomerun tuner on it. If you don't have that, that does greatly change what's going to happen here, but not everything. You can have streaming apps on here. I found Disney Plus does not work well once you have it hooked up to HDMI. It sees that, and I'm not sure if it's the copyright protection in it, but there's no good app yet for it doing this, which is kind of a shame. For some weird reason, though, once in a while it works. But for me, it was more for TV. I want something simple to replace the Roku that's in my bedroom. Or not even the Roku so much. I also have a TiVo system, and the TiVo in my room, I want to replace that also and just have one thing on there and make use of this. So for here, I'll go to the Plex, and I'm still just using the remote. You will see there is a cursor, or there is a mouse pointer on there. It just went away. And then here's my Plex system. This is also running through an HDHomerun, but I could go to movies and stuff too. This has a guide. This records. Let's see, something really old here is Hercules. This will not be in high definition. Let me hit mute on, well, actually I can hit mute on here. There we go. So I'm going to mute it just for copyright reasons. So that's not a HD channel. We'll go back. Let's find something here that's HD. And of course, old footage in a commercial, so that's not technically HD either. Well, there we go. At least part of the commercial is. There we go. And I can go down through things also. What's going to be on. But yeah, that's through Plex. I can hit the home key. Since this is actually taking my HD tuner and I have only 2 tuners, I am going to back out though before going back. So I'll hit the home key. That'll take me back. Even from here, if there's an app I'm missing, I can go to Add Apps. And I can find my HDHomerun. There it is. So they have their own app here. So the NVIDIA Shield, if you're familiar with that, they have a live TV one. They did not develop that for a phone. It would be fantastic if they did, because I really like that, and that's what made me start going this way. But this is accessing a tuner I have. Nice thing about the HDHomerun tuner is anything in my house can see it pretty much. Xboxes, PlayStations, all the phones. So if I click on that, it did not fire up in full screen because I didn't have it in full screen. And because I have it on mute, the closed caption's on. In fact, let me turn the mute off.
I thought metal casting.
And then I'll just bring it down to there. There we go. So there's no way to get up to the cursor. Hitting the buttons is just bringing up the channels. Wonder Woman's on. So what I'll do is there's a little cursor button on here. I'll hit that, and that opens up a cursor that I can move around. And this actually comes in really handy, so I can full screen it that way. I can turn the cursor back off just by clicking it once. Sometimes it goes away right away, sometimes it doesn't, but it doesn't hurt anything, it will go away. And you can see I can go through all the different channels here on the HDHomerun app. And it has it on there. So my original thing here was really just to get around for television. I wanted something simple that everyone could handle using. If you hit the home key and you actually go back here, you can hit the home key again, and it'll actually take you right back into the last app you were in. I'm going to look into maybe seeing about how to have it auto load, but that might take some kind of scripting or something, so that was not included in this. This is supposed to be somewhat simple. So even though I couldn't do a PlayStation 4 remote, I could do an Xbox One. One thing I did notice, though, was this is my original Xbox controller, and there is no headphone jack on the bottom. You have to use the proprietary connection from the Xbox, whereas the newer ones came out, they had the headphone jack. So for some reason, the old one, I cannot Bluetooth. I'm sure there's a reason for it. I did not research it at all. I just went, oh, it doesn't work, so let me grab my other controller, and this one does work. In fact, I can turn it on here. There we go. I can actually, there we go. I'm going into things I don't want to be in. There is a DVR function with HDHomerun, which actually, if you wanted the DVR function, you didn't have a Plex server, which like what I'm using for DVR, I think it's like $30 a year. It's not bad at all. But part of cutting the cord is I'm not putting extra cost in. I actually already have a Plex server with the lifetime pass, so it doesn't cost me any additional. But that would be here, and then you would have other features in here too that you can do. There's a lot of stuff in here. Dinosaur Train. There we go. We can watch it now. We can record the series. That way you never miss an episode of your Dinosaur Train. All that good stuff. Well, actually, since I have the controller out, let's just go to Game Launcher. Now, this is one catch here. The controller does not seem to do it, but since I have this remote here, now if you don't have the remote, you can do the mouse stuff, like I said, but I wanted to make this more of a TV experience. So we'll go to Game Launcher, and right now I don't have much on here, but we'll go to, keep in mind, no touch screen at this point, so we'll go to Minecraft. And it even warned me that some things don't work if you don't have touchscreen available. Minecraft's an interesting game where it actually kind of knows I have the Xbox hooked up. So we'll go to play. You'll see it's a LB, RB. It's showing the connections already. Let's see here. Create new world. Create. Showed the gamepad down there. We'll let that create real quick. There we go. And yeah, you can see it knows I have the gamepad on. Crafting, inventory, mine. Well, yeah, so you can see I can do all the normal stuff in here with the controller. And then if I have to, I can back out, say I need to answer an email or something, because it's basically a computer also. You have internet and everything on it. That's where it's nice to have the keyboard and mouse. But in the room this is going in, it's not going to be for that. It's going to be basically just for television. You might wonder, too, if you're familiar with the system, why don't I just do a screen mirroring instead of dealing with the DEX? Because the DEX doesn't always full screen, doesn't help with things like that. And one of the reasons behind that is I'll pop back over to the mouse cursor here, and I'm going to go down and go to the screen mirroring. In fact, let me close Plex here. So down here, I'm going to just go down to it. There, close, so that's not going. Oops. All right, so I accidentally jumped back in it. I can resume the game, but I'll just hit the home key on here. That'll take me back out because I didn't mean to go to it. There we go, that's closed. I don't care about the game thing. I just wanted those two closed. So we'll go down here. There's a whole bunch of stuff up here. Just like you're used to on your regular phone. I can clear this. But I'm going to go to screen mirroring instead. And being a Samsung phone, and there are apps out there you can get to force this to go sideways. But if you have a Samsung phone, you're familiar with the fact that it doesn't turn. And this is not a big deal at this point because you'll see my phone sideways here. However I put it, it would be sideways. So what I'll do is, let's see here. I'm still on the mouse cursor. I'm going to take that off because the natural GUI is very friendly with having like a joystick type pattern. We'll go in here. So you'll see this doesn't fill in, but that don't matter. We're going to turn sideways on this. Let's go to let's go to YouTube. And you'll see I have bars that I can't get rid of. And that's kind of an issue for me right there. Go back here. Let's see here, my television area. So I have a bunch of apps in here. But once again, you saw it, the HDHomerun app. It was a full screen. I'll go there on here. And I'm stuck with those bars up there. And then I got the bars on the side too. Yeah, so now that I have up there, there's also an internet button on here. I can click on that. Of course, that takes me right to last site I was on, which is YouTube. You can double click on taskbars. So that's a mouse click. That full screened it. I mean, you can go and full screen in the corner, but that's just a little shortcut. So a good example here, the video that I did about not having this video ready. So we'll click here, full screen, get this off there, and then volume up. I just made this because I always put a video up, so I gotta do it. But there we go. So that works like that. If you saw any of my homebrew videos, you know I have a bunch of homebrew videos that I've been looking into. So we'll go to NES. I use the NES Pro. That's just me. Find our game here. We'll go back to Super Homebrew War. There we go. Much better layout. Forcing the full screen, it distorted it too much. So we have player one's on. I'm going to just do one CPU. If you watched the video on this when I showed it, I had all the computers on and I just got smoked within seconds. Well, we don't want it to last too long, so there we go. I'm going to go with Kaylee, Classy Neon World, Nova the Squirrel. Sure, why not? Game mode, we'll do most kills. All right, there's my jump. I am super tiny, and that's awesome. I'm playing against the Haunted Halloween character, which is fantastic. I got to get used to it though. Being that the buttons are backwards, that is not something I'm used to. And I just got squished. And I got squished again. Can I just say I'm the other person and not tell you that I'm this person? Alright, so see if I can get that plane down there. Oh, and I got hit by the lightning. So if you watched my last video, the video I did on this, I didn't know what the lightning does. I now know what it does. When you hit it and it comes down, yeah, it kills you. There we go. Apparently I must be playing really bad because I don't know if you saw the notice down there. It said, controller not working properly, do something about it. Controller's working fine. I just really not doing well at this. But it's running really well. I've been very happy with it so far. I can just jump on his head. And I got hit by the lightning. Only I can get hit by that. And I got stepped on. It's pretty awesome, though, that Donnie from Haunted Halloween is actually in this game. So the person who made this game, if you haven't seen that other video, is... it's kind of like how Super Smash Brothers has characters from all sorts of different games. He put characters from all sorts of different homebrew games in here. Haunted Halloween, there's a Haunted Halloween 85 and 86. They're both extremely good games. And you can get them on NES. I have the cartridges for them. They work great. And I actually have one of them on Steam. And I just killed myself there. So Donnie's just got to get me one more time here. Who knows? Maybe I'll play this whole thing through, or it will get edited a bit. But I got to finish it now that I'm doing it. Oh, that was a mistake on Donnie's behalf. So he hit the start, swapped our positions, which put me above him, which was fantastic. I don't. What is that? Oh, I think that's that melon-looking thing. I think it's a timer. There we go. And I'm not going to be able to jump on him because he's under the thing. He was protected. There we go. Get away from that. I should have did this video before I did the other video. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. All right, so we'll hit the X, go back out. So one of the nice things about the DEX is, for me, what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to use DEX to do this whole thing. I'm going to use a mouse and keyboard. We don't need the controller here anymore. But I've got Adobe Rush on here, and actually it's what I use on my iPad Pro, and I use on, actually the video I did for last Saturday to say that this one was late, I just did on my phone real quick, and I did it on here. So I'm actually going to use Samsung DEX to do this whole thing. Now, given I'm recording this, I'm using the Samsung DEX on my Note 8. I'm using my Note 10 to record it. I'll end up doing this all on my Note 10. But let's see here. Let's full screen that. And it's not going to come up because I'm not signed in. But otherwise, it gives me a full screen just like I would on my computer, so I don't have to use Premiere or Camtasia or anything, and I can edit all on there. So I know this one's a little different than a lot of people showing their DEX, just for the fact that my premise behind it is I want to use it in my room for a television replacement. Some of the streaming apps, not so good. You got to kind of play with that. But I watch a lot of YouTube and TV with the HDHomerun. That makes this very usable for me. If you don't have HDHomerun, then you would have to... The thing you got to remember, and you have to experiment with your type of phone, because you might have a phone that does fit fine, just doing a screen mirroring, like maybe like an LG or something like that. I want to say the G5, very good phone actually, capable of doing gaming, and I want to say that would fit a 1080 television if I remember correctly. One of the first TVs or phones to have a widescreen on it actually, or wide angle, a good one, and that one. You just got to play with it, though. Even if you use the dongle, you got to make sure a lot of programs don't allow you to, like the errors I get with Disney Plus. It's probably easier if I bring it up. I'll just pick a random thing because I'm not expecting it to work. I'll go watch it'll work now, because it has been very random for me. Actually, let's turn the cursor back on because it is a lot easier for some things. And that one's working. So let's see if I can full screen it. I got to restart the app to full screen it because I took it out of full screen when I was messing with it before, which isn't a big deal. It just does it real quick. But I think it's going to look at the HDMI while doing that. So let's go to, let's see, Avatar was working for me before, and I'm scrolling by doing that, holding up at the same time. So let's go to Avatar here real quick. And it caught it. So it's real hit or miss whether it works or not. Like I could get out of it and go back in and it'll work. It's kind of irritating. Let's see what else we got in here. So I'm double clicking when I'm using the cursor. You have to do that in DEX. If you are not using the cursor, so I'm going to turn the cursor off so it's just going through it like files, you can single click it. So there's little things like that. I have a bad habit of double clicking stuff even when I don't have to now. Let's see here. Go to, I'm actually going to use the cursor in here. So if it wasn't for that mouse cursor, this remote would be absolutely useless. So luckily I do have that. What I want to do, oh, it's at the bottom here. I want to go to my library. Let's see here. I'll just play, let's see here. I know a trailer will work. Where to watch? Let's watch it here because I own it here. Now I can link my Disney Plus to this so it doesn't show that price. I just haven't. And that one seems to be loading just fine. And everything dissolves into the background so you can play it. I actually like the Google Shop because if it goes into 4K, it actually tells you that. You can filter by what's 4K and stuff. But yeah, there's it's real weird. I mean, Google, it doesn't surprise me that there's going to be more friendly to this. Where Disney Plus needs to get an app on here. For how popular they are, like right out of the gate, they need to get something on here. Maybe there is something and I haven't looked, but when I looked the other day, there wasn't anything yet. And then I can control the volume from here. And we'll turn that down real quick. We'll go fair use because of the fact that I'm just showing how things suck and don't suck. But yeah, that's it. Hope you got something out of it. I know there's a lot of videos out here on that, but I was just wanted to show some things different. It's definitely no NVIDIA Shield by any means. But with the right things, there could be some features on it. And it's a good way to repurpose a phone. Just because this one here has burn in it. The wireless charger doesn't work. And if I let it die, I just got to throw it in a drawer for 2 months and let it completely fizzle out before it'll charge. It's the weirdest thing. My daughter's phone has horrible burn in it. The rest of it works, but the burn-in's crazy bad on it. My wife's phone has a crack on it, and then my son's is all cracked on it. So each one of them are pretty much, I mean, I could sell them, get a little bit out of it, but I can get more function out of it this way. So that's what I'm going to do with mine. So other than that, hope you have a good one. Thanks.